Hello and welcome to another episode of Laptop Retrospective, and today we have a big behemoth here for us. This is the ThinkPad P73 workstation, and they don't really come much bigger than this, and you don't really see a machine in 17 inches that often anymore. However, this one is a pretty good bargain in terms of how much you can upgrade it and its current market price. So I'm going to turn it over to the other camera because this thing is just too big to capture. And let's take a look at this thing. Wow. This was originally released in 2019 and sports the 9th generation Intel CPUs. And it came with all sorts of different configurations, and this was pretty top of the line. There wasn't really a poor configuration that you could get with this unit. So let's go ahead and talk about all the goodies that came with this. This is, of course, a 17.3-inch display, 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and it either came in a 1920 by 1080 panel or a 4K 3840 by 2160 panel. The 1920 panel was 300 nits, 700:1 contrast ratio, and 72% color accurate. The 4K display was 400 nits, 1000:1, with 100% color accuracy, and that sported Dolby Vision HDR and was X-Rite Pantone calibrated from the factory. So we're talking about serious color accurate work on a workstation grade machine. CPUs in this thing, the worst that you could do is an i5-9400H, which isn't saying much in terms of that's still pretty good. And then you had an i7-9750H and a 9850H. And then you could go up to a Core i9, which was a 9880H. And if you really wanted all the power you could possibly get, you could get a Xeon E2276M. And all of these had integrated GPUs with the UHD 630, with the exception of the Xeon having the P630. Dedicated GPUs that shipped with this were a series of NVIDIA Quadro, from the P620 to the RTX 3000, the RTX 4000 Max-Q, the RTX 5000 Max-Q, and then the T2000. All of these configurations maxed out with 120 gigabytes of DDR4 2666 megahertz RAM. And the good times don't stop there. 3 drives capable on the inside, giving you RAID 0 or 1 capability. 2 2280s and 1 2.5-inch bay are waiting for us when we take this apart. The whole thing is being driven by a 99 watt-hour battery, and depending on what CPU was configured, you either got the 170 watt power supply or this twin-size bed 230 watt power supply for the heavier CPU and GPU combo units. And of course, this is being ran by the slim tip plug because USB Type-C just doesn't have enough watts. Anyway, let's talk about ports and features because there is a lot. Starting at the top, we have the Think Shutter covering a Windows Hello infrared camera plus a 720p web camera. And this is the only camera configuration that these came in. You cannot get this, well, you can get it with no camera if you really wanted to, but all cameras are Windows Hello. We have a fingerprint reader here, a full numpad. We have dedicated buttons for the trackpad as well as the track point, so you get the best of both worlds. You have some indicator lights over here on the bar, which is something that of course would go away after this series of machines. This was kind of the last workstation machine that would feature it. Now we got to talk about all the ports that this thing has. On the left-hand side is probably the most sparse, with a USB 3.1 Gen 1 port that has always-on power delivery. Along the back, we have the power supply, 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, or USB 3.2 Gen 2. We have HDMI 2.0, another USB-A 3.1 port, and then on the right-hand side, full-size Ethernet, a USB Type-C port. This one is not Thunderbolt, a full-sized SD card reader, and you guessed it, another USB Type A port, followed by the headphone microphone combo jack. And tucked away in the corner here, hidden very nicely amongst the grill, is the Kensington security lock slot, just on the off chance that you're afraid that somebody might take this off your desk and use it to bludgeon you to death, because they probably could. This thing is massive and awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom of the machine, which you will note has no docking connector because this is the Thunderbolt era, so the need for one isn't quite the same. And we are going to pull off this back panel. So let's put it back underneath this camera, grab our Phillips screwdriver, and undo all the screws for this back panel. Now, this sort of back panel design is a love it or hate it, in the sense that you have to undo all these screws to gain access to all the components. But once you do, you've gained access to all the components. Not really a hardship. And this thing is really beautifully laid out in the sense that you have everything here that you're going to want to service. So we have the 99 watt-hour battery here. Well, we have two of the RAM slots facing us. We have the fold-over little covers here for the two NVMe SSDs. These two RAM slots are unoccupied currently right here with their little covers. This is where the 2.5-inch drive goes, but I would imagine that you could probably get some sort of caddy in here to maybe shove even more drives in. I'm not sure if that's supported. If you do know, make sure you're leaving a comment in the comment section down below to educate us all. But I have seen caddies plug in here before that take more than just the 2.5-inch bay. All in all, a huge, huge amount of storage. So that's really all there is to see on this side of the machine. Looking at this and how the motherboard is sandwiched, we can expect the other two RAM slots to be underneath the keyboard. So let's go ahead and turn that over and see what that ends up looking like for us. So I suspect this is a pop the two trackpad buttons off, undo the screws, pull the keyboard up. But we are going to look at our hardware maintenance manual first before we break anything, because we don't want to break anything. And with the hardware maintenance manual readily available, we don't need to take any guesses when it comes to servicing ThinkPads. We can know exactly how it's supposed to come apart. Okay, and it looks like I was partly right. There is one single screw by the NVMe SSDs that we need to remove before we can pull that trackpad. And it is right here, marked with a pictogram for the keyboard. There we have it. And interestingly enough, according to the maintenance manual, that is literally the only screw on this side for holding that keyboard in. And I suspect that that is the case because of the addition of the numpad on that side of the machine. I would say in normal circumstances, that would not be required. To remove these track points, there is a special tool that ships with the replacement keyboard, but you're not really used to seeing those. So any thin tool will work, so long as it has a flat edge. And what we're doing is we're just gently prying up on the bottom of these track point buttons. Just like that. There we go. And we need the smallest Phillips humanly imaginable for these two screws right here. And we'll know because the keyboard will shift about 1/4 of an inch upward when you pull up on it. It's very difficult to show that on camera. Okay, now that we've got the keyboard lifted, there is a ribbon that we have to be careful of. Well, two ribbons. So if we lean that forward, we've got the ribbon for the track point and the ribbon for the keyboard. We have a socketed Wi-Fi card. I forgot to mention this is Wi-Fi 6 or Bluetooth 5.1 combo card. And here we have the CMOS battery, a series of motherboard connectors for the ports. And if we take off this cover here, we have our other two RAM slots. So this currently has one stick of 32 gigabytes hanging out and has room for, like I said earlier, a maximum of 128. And you can see that this is just built rock solid. This is that magnesium roll cage that made ThinkPads famous, and they kept it in the ThinkStations or what would be colloquially known as the ThinkStations. But this thing is built like a tank. You could have a significant amount of confidence using this thing in all sorts of different environments. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. All right, with everything back together, we're going to flip this big boy over and we're going to turn it on. We can see the indicator lights down there flickering a very tasteful white. Obviously on old ThinkPads they used to be green, but the fact that they're still there on this model just goes to show that people really like those features from the old machines, and they very much catered to those desires when it came to these workstation machines, because they are selling very expensive computers to clients like Aston Martin, who you want to keep happy. And now they sell the P series to places like Formula One and FIFA. A lot of pedigree, no question about it. If you are curious, this is the i7-9850H, 32 gigs of RAM like I mentioned earlier, and has the RTX 3000. It does have the 1080p display, not the 4K one. So a quick Cinebench reveals some modest results. Multi-core was 6,150 points, single core was 1,169 points, for an MP ratio of 5.26. Not too shabby. That you can kind of see that it's still rating pretty comparably in single core. Multi-core, there's a lot of CPUs that'll still beat it out. Some are actually available on the P73, but still not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination. But all in all, very impressive unit. The cheapest that I normally see these machines go for is around 400 US, sometimes 400 Canadian dollars, but that's, modestly spec'd. Some of these can go up to 500 or 600 depending on what still comes in them, because these things are beasts. If you were looking for a modestly priced workhorse of a 17-inch machine, the P73 is probably some of the best value for money currently out there. With 9th generation Intel, you're not necessarily getting the most power efficient CPUs, with the H series especially, but you're also running a 99 watt-hour battery in here, which is the largest legal sized battery that they can put and still have you be able to take this thing on an airplane. Although if you were to take this on an airplane and use it on that teeny tiny little thing that they call a tray in front of you, I would imagine this thing would stop the chair from reclining backwards. Like, this is how beastly this thing is. And for all I know, that's how this thing got its corner damaged. So you can see that even though it's looks like somebody took a bite out of it, we are still rocking so much powerful computer. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this video. If you are looking for some deals on eBay, I'll leave some links down in the description that you can click on and peruse and see what's out there. Local classifieds and resellers and recyclers are going to be king in terms of pricing. Always support local when you can, of course. I would love to know, have you used a P73 or some of the older P-series workstations? If you have, tell me your stories in the comments about what they were like to use in the comment section down below, because the P-series is very often not something that you see for sale in the same quantities as like the X1 Carbon or the T-series, just because fewer of them were produced, because they're being sold to different clients that may not even be aware that a P-series is something that you can get on the used market, or that you should want on the used market. If it comes down to a P-series and a T-series for roughly the same price, chances are pretty good the P-series was made to that higher standard just because of the clientele that was purchasing it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.